welcome to the Sidewalk CEO Podcast, a podcast for small business owners by small business owners. Each week, the Sidewalk CEO speaks with Frankfort area business owners about their journeys, sharing insights and firsthand experiences that can help fuel your path to success. Here are your hosts, Sherry Donahue, CEO and Chief Cybersecurity Evangelist of Commonwealth Sentinel Cybersecurity, and Leo Haggerty, founder of TCHQ Communications.
And I am Leo Haggerty from TCHQ Communications, along with my partner in crime,
Sherry Donahue from Commonwealth Sentinel Cybersecurity.
And welcome to the Sidewalk CEO Podcast. Each week, we talk with local business owners in the greater Franklin County area, find out what they've been up to, how they got into business, how the business is going, what challenges they've faced, and how they're dealing with them, and maybe get some advice for other folks who are thinking they might want to get into business too in the Franklin County area. And today, we're joined by Cindy Smith from the 525 Kitchen and a whole lot more. And Sherry, it seems to be very common that nobody has like one business anymore. Everybody's got at least 2 or 3 side things going on.
Yeah, that might be
And Cindy, you have a whole bunch going on.
We do. We do. It seems like one business kind of led into the other.
Right.
One business was necessary to support the other business.
The important question is do you own an Airbnb?
We do not.
It's like probably half the people. And we haven't actually had anybody on to talk about Airbnb, but about half the people that we've had on, it's like, oh yeah, we do this. Oh, and by the way, we have Airbnbs. It's like I'm missing out on something apparently.
Right.
So let's get down to it. 525 Kitchen is a business, but it's also a nonprofit. How does that work?
So we said that we call it the 525. We set this kitchen up as really when we purchased the building. We needed it to support the Flying Waffle, which is our food truck. Mm-hmm. In the state of Kentucky, you do not have to work under a commissary kitchen if you own a food truck. It's its own entity. However, when you actually, everything that you serve, you have to make on that food truck. It's kind of difficult. It's a small space. Mm-hmm. So we bought the kitchen to support that, and we needed a place to park the food truck, and we needed a bigger sink room to be able to wash dishes. We needed more space. So we bought the kitchen, or this building, and we turned it into a commercial kitchen. And then we decided we really needed help paying for that. So how were we going to do that? So we decided to open it up as a commissary kitchen. When we started the business, however, my business partner, Julie, who couldn't join us today, she's a lot smarter than I am on some of these things. So she set us up as a nonprofit. So we would be able to partner with community projects. We would be able to write grants to kind of help us out, to maybe help others, because we really wanted it to be an incubator space where we could help other businesses grow.
So how long has 525 been?
So we bought the building in April of 2022.
Okay.
And
so
we opened the kitchen in November.
So now, but you all already had the Flying Waffle
we
before
did.
that. So how long had you
So
been
4 years ago next month, so September of 2021.
Oh, so soon after
we
then.
rolled out the food truck.
Another crazy person who opens a business in the middle of a pandemic. Sherry can relate.
Right.
We did. And it did really well. We didn't know. We had a lot to learn, and we have always said that we were going to start a podcast to talk about all of the crazy things that happen owning a food truck.
Here you go. Now you can. But see, that's the thing about it. I'm assuming that during the pandemic, that food trucks probably were doing well because people weren't really going into restaurants.
Maybe. I think so.
Yeah.
It seemed that way because, like, we had to stay away from each other, and so maybe I don't know.
So now, you start the 525 Kitchen,
Mm-hmm.
and you were helping other food trucks to start, to people to go into.
We opened the kitchen up after we got open. We opened the kitchen up to other entrepreneurs. We do have some food trucks that work out of our kitchen, but only one have we kind of helped incubate.
Okay.
And that's Matt's hot dog stand.
Okay.
He's got a little hot dog cart. You guys may see him around town or in Lexington. He's doing pretty well. So we kind of have helped him along the way. But all of the tenants at the 525 Kitchen own and operate their own businesses.
Okay. So is that helping your competition?
Well, as far as the commissary kitchen, we don't have competition. And as far as the food truck, all these food trucks are so different. And they...
in the types of food that they're offering?
Yeah, well, it's not just the types of food. It's also how they operate. So Community Q Barbecue, he works out of our kitchen. He's full-time. That's what he does full-time, is he runs his barbecue truck. Matt... He works full-time job and he does food truck runs his hot dog business on the side.
Okay.
We have Cheese Louise. He's one of our newer tenants. He's got a lot going on, and but his food business is his full-time job.
Okay.
And then we have Lala's Kitchen, who parks their truck there, and that's a part-time thing for them. So everybody is so different. Some mostly stay in Frankfort, some go to surrounding counties.
So let's go back on this, just make sure I've got it straight in my mind. If you own a food truck, you either have to prepare the food on the truck or in a commercial kitchen, a certified kitchen.
Right.
So a lot of prep work gets done there then, essentially.
Yes. Okay. A lot of prep work. And it is so much easier to have the space to do that. We don't restrict the hours that they use the kitchen. They can come in there in the middle of the night if they chose to. We've actually had to do that for the Flying Waffle if we've had a breakfast event. So, you have to go and prep this food at 3:00 in the morning, and it happens.
So let's take a step back, because really the Flying Waffle got all of this started.
It did.
So it's the Flying Waffle and Southern Eats.
It is, yes.
So I'm guessing it involves waffles.
It does. It does. We do chicken and waffles as our signature dish, but we call it the Flying Waffle and Southern Eats because we found, so when we first got the food truck business started, a lot of people got used to, they recognized the wrap on our truck. It said the Flying Waffle. It was black. It was very distinctive, had a little waffle. Well, the wrap started to fade, and it was just time. So when we rewrapped, Julie and I thought we decided to rebrand. So we put a new wrap on it. Now it's pink and has flowers all over it, and it's pretty cute. But we are now not just pigeonholed to waffles, which we get tired of doing. Everybody wants the waffles. We get tired of doing it. And it's like, okay, we need to be a little creative here. So some of the things that we serve, you never know what we're going to come up with. It may be meatballs.
Oh.
Okay.
I mean, it could be meatballs. We could just have meatballs one day. We do the fresh squeezed lemonades. We do iced coffees. We are dipping into doing the dirty Alanis and the dirty sodas that you see all over TikTok. They're non-alcoholic. Right. We're always trying new things, because if my business partner cannot get her creative, it's a creative outlet. We got to get that out there.
Yeah.
Can food trucks get a liquor license? I don't know that I've ever seen one that serves anything.
So I think that the rule on that, I could be wrong, but I think that we've talked to people. I think the rule on that is if they make it, they can sell it. So for example, you'll see the trailers out for the distilleries own. We were downtown Frankfort a couple of weeks ago in Castle and Key, cute little trailer down there, and so they can do that. There's one we've met in Lawrenceburg, and then they also it's like the distilleries all use the cattle trailer type deals where they've converted them. They're so cute, but it was a moonshine truck. Ooh, and so we were asking them, and that's what they told us: if you make it, you can sell it.
Okay.
So that doesn't mean like if you make a daiquiri.
I think you have to make the ingredient.
You'd have to make the rum.
That would be a good argument. That would be a good argument. That's fun. We could do bourbon flavored foods, but we kind of have to sometimes we'll use like a bourbon flavoring for that rather than real bourbon. But like you can also do that. We just have to get that under our catering license.
Okay. So back to Flying Waffle. It's like you mentioned Community Q earlier, and they've got like they're usually at Lowe's a couple of times a month, and they're over by Sherwin-Williams on the other side of town a couple of times a month. Do you guys have a regular route, or do you just strictly doing it when somebody has a big event or wants to hire
So for
you?
us, for the Flying Waffle, we really are an event only truck. We will be at there's a McKenna. I think we
So you're really busy from like April to November, because it seems like there's three events a weekend going on in Frankfort now. So
yeah, and then we Julie and I, because we both work full-time jobs, we have to be strategic in the planning of when we go out. So we will, our favorite thing to do is the mobile catering. So we'll have a company that will call us, and they want a certain menu, and they are serving their employees. And so basically we make the food and we show up, and they all come out, and we just, serve. It's a catering thing. They're just using the food truck to do it.
So that's your third business then, the catering?
Well, yeah, we use the food truck to do that. So it's not necessarily a separate business. That's just events that we book.
Oh, okay.
Those are our favorites.
So kind of working backwards here. Let's go back a little bit further. So how did you and Julie get hooked up, and how did you decide to open the Flying Waffle?
So Julie and I have been friends pretty much our whole lives, since high school. Frankfort's a small town; everybody knows everybody. I don't really remember the beginning of our friendship, but we've been friends forever. And Julie she was born an entrepreneur. She actually used to own Julie's Flowers and Gifts over in Brighton Park.
Okay.
And had a very successful business for a long time, and then decided to go to school to be a nurse.
A perfectly normal career path.
Well, it is if you know Julie.
Okay.
But yeah, so she was a florist and had a gift shop, and then opened in that same space. When Julie's went out, she opened Mulligan's, and Mulligan's was an indoor golf facility with simulators.
Oh my goodness.
So yeah, we did that 15, 16 years ago. So, and I'm always like her little partner in crime. So she opened that business, and then I didn't run it, but I was there all the time and ran it pretty much. So we put in a kitchen, and that became that's when we met Wes Clark, and he's with the Franklin County Health Department. So
his name keeps popping up in
He
discussions.
does.
People think very highly of him.
Wes is a good guy. He's very strict, but he's a good guy. And we always tell all of our food people that come into that are starting food businesses in our kitchen, that's your number one guy. Call him first. So we call Wes with all of these crazy ideas that we do. All of the things, we call him first.
So you're sitting around doing your indoor golf simulation, hole in one, blah, 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 and you're just chatting. You know what? Why don't we start a food truck? I mean, how do these conversations?
Actually, yes, exactly. So Mulligan's closed probably in 2013. Julie went to do a travel nurse. She was all over the country doing that, and I was finishing up my bachelor's degree and changing career paths. And then she moved back to Kentucky. And I mean, we've just always been, really good friends. And so we were sitting on my front porch one night, and I was probably scrolling on Pinterest. And I was like, because we're always talking about, we could do this or we could do that.
Right.
We always laugh. The retirement plan is to open our ice cream shop on the beach.
Ooh.
Yeah, we're done with that now. We're not doing that.
Okay.
We're not doing that. This food truck has taken that notion out. But, I mean, we're always coming up with something like that. And so I'm just scrolling, and I said, hey, what about waffles? And she said, I like waffles. And I'm like, look at these. Aren't these cute? And they were like little waffles decorated up on a stick. Now, when I tell you that my business partner, if it were up to me, I'd still be sitting in that rocking chair and I'd still be
Scrolling
saying,
Pinterest.
Hey, waffles are kind of cute. My business partner is not that person. I mean, I kid you not when I say within a month, that food truck was ordered. Our LLC was done. We had a bank account. And I feel like sometimes I'm just along for the ride.
We had a guest on the show not too long ago who came home from work one day and found that her husband had incorporated her business and gotten it started for her while she was at work. Because got it done.
Yeah,
That's Julie. That's Julie. Like when, I mean, and when I say she's the creative side, she has designed the wraps for our food truck. She designs our logos. She designs our website. She has designed,
So she's a nurse.
She designs our menus.
She has all that the scientific side, but she also creative too. That's, to have both sides.
Well, when she was young, and she went to school for the first time, she's a graphic designer.
Oh, really?
Or I don't know what her degree is, but she did graphic design. Yeah,
okay.
She's amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, she's amazing. I don't know if you guys have been on our Facebook page or not, but on our Facebook page there's a picture of our building. And when you see the building, that's her vision,
Wow.
The window coverings that are on, she designed those and put them up.
Okay.
Amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so we've got the Flying Waffle, which then grows into 525 Kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
What other pies do you have your fingers?
So bluegrass.
Not literally. She does not put her fingers in food.
The pies.
Well, maybe. So Bluegrass Home Chef came out of that first winter. So it's wintertime. The kitchen opens. We get the final inspection in November. And then we were kind of like, okay, well, now what? So it's wintertime and there's not a lot of food trucking going on in the winter. And so we have this kitchen. And at first we were like, okay, well, let's go out. Let's put out a menu and pickups for Thanksgiving. And so a lot of our friends, we start posting on Facebook, and a lot of our friends and whatnot, they start ordering, their side dishes or pies or cakes or some of the things that we decided to do. And it was a pretty limited menu, like appetizers and stuff like that. So, but it went over pretty good. And it was a lot of our friends just supporting us, our family supporting us. So then we did that again for Christmas. And really, all we were trying to do at first was, we just need to keep the lights on, right? We just need to pay the
Something
bills.
to do in the winter.
Yeah. So, come January, we officially start Bluegrass Home Chef, which was a meal prep business. And so we would put out a menu every week. People would have to order by Friday. And then on Sunday, usually Saturday or Sunday mornings, we would go down to the kitchen and we would cook all day. And we would, box these meals up, and pickup was 2 to 5 on Sundays. And that kept us going through the winter.
Okay. That's great.
We loved that. But then when the food truck business, when it's springtime, it's time to get back out and go do this food truck. So Bluegrass Home Chef kind of went by the wayside. We'll bring it out every once in a while. Always at Christmas and Thanksgiving and Christmas around the holidays. We always pick up. We always offer stuff, and it's a lot of fun because now we have tenants down at the kitchen, and it's pretty neat to go in there and see everybody in their area of the kitchen working at the same time. It's like everybody's businesses are going on. We've got a lot going on, and you just grab a cart and you just grab your corner, and you might have to fight for your corner, but it's really neat because we all do work together down there.
How many different businesses can the kitchen accommodate at one time?
Well, we haven't tested the capacity yet.
Oh, good.
But we've got about a dozen.
Okay.
Wow.
And it's neat because all the businesses are different. They're not all food truck businesses. So we have Keith with Tin Can Coffee. Keith has a little coffee trailer, and he does park it at the kitchen. But he uses us because he roasts his own beans.
Oh.
So he had to have a commercial space to put his coffee roaster in. So Keith has got one little area, and he's got his beautiful You guys should come see it. It's a beautiful coffee roaster. Anyway, so he's got his little coffee roaster down. That's what he uses our business for.
Okay.
We have Apocalypse freeze-dried candies, I think is what they're called. Apocalypse. They have 2 freeze dryers, and they do a lot of the freeze-dried candy, but they also do, other foods. And I think they have, like they sell their products in different stores.
Oh, okay.
So really, they just have their freeze dryer, their equipment there in the kitchen.
So it's not just for food trucks then.
Yeah, so they breeze
anybody
in,
that needs a commercial space for food preparation.
So they breeze in and they breeze out. We have Time Together charcuterie.
Oh.
So Danielle prepares her charcuterie there in our kitchen, and either her customers come to the kitchen for pickup, or she may be catering something. She'll do a drop off for an event. We have a lot of businesses like that. That was pretty neat. So that's all on our website and our Facebook page.
And we will have links in the bio to that, but it is 525kitchen.org and on Facebook at 525kitchen.
Yeah, it's the 525 Kitchen Inc., I believe. I think you have to put the INC in there. Anyway.
No, I got it off your website.
Oh, there you go. I will believe you because that's a Julie issue. That's
Okay,
what she
so
does.
Well, now I have a question about the kitchen. So, since you have so many different clients that come in there to use the space as an incubator, do you have like several sinks and several ovens? And
We do in the front kitchen. We have 2 stoves,
okay,
and then we have an auxiliary kitchen in 2 rooms back. So there's a whole other room, and there's 2 stoves in there.
Okay.
Everybody has their own. The tenants have their own refrigerator space,
okay,
and they have their own dry shelf storage space.
okay.
So their dry goods, whatever they use, it's all supposed to stay on their shelf.
And they bring all their own ingredients and all of that. You just provide the machinery and
Right. They bring all of their own ingredients and that sort of thing. Now, some of them, again, the ones that have the specialty equipment, Keith's coffee roaster, Shannon's freeze dryers, that's not community property. But we provide bowls and the mixers. We've got a big floor mixer.
oh, wow.
We've got a lot of KitchenAid mixers, but we do provide all of that equipment. But some of the tenants will bring stuff and they don't care to share it with other people.
Okay.
But sometimes they have things that are for their use, and so we kind of have that separate.
So have you applied for grants to help with the nonprofit with the 525?
Yes, that's a Julie job.
Julie. Oh, Julie.
That's a Julie job. Yes, we received a grant. We received a grant from Kentucky State University last year to help us put in a produce wash station and the 2 extra stoves that are in the back room for canning, because we want to work with local farmers. And so, they have to, depending on who they sell their produce to, it has to be washed in a commercial kitchen.
Okay.
So that space is there if they need it. And then we have the canning equipment and the canning stations. If you had a large garden and you needed a space to come down and can your stuff, you can come rent our space.
Wow.
And then we keep that pretty low cost.
So what are we talking about cost?
So if you were to come down and can, it would be $25 an hour.
Wow.
So if you had, and we'll provide all the equipment, you would need to bring clearly your
Cans
produce and your jars and
Yeah.
that sort of thing. But, we have our equipment. So if you had a large garden, or you and your neighbor or your brother or, what have you, if you came down and needed to wash that, can that, put it up. I know a lot of people have their own systems already. My
Right.
sister-in-law's been canning and putting food up for years, and she's got her own space to do that. But in the event that somebody wanted to use our space, it's there.
And so for the food trucks, it's a membership. Is that how that works?
It's a monthly. We just do a monthly fee, and it's kind of a sliding scale. It really depends on what storage needs they have, what their kitchen what their kitchen usage is. I'm not sitting there with a tracker timing how many hours you spend in the kitchen.
That's Julie's job.
Yeah, no, we would definitely be in trouble for that one. But we usually, we come to an agreement as far as what, how many hours, how many days a week are you using this for? Like, what are you using our space for?
Mm-hmm.
And we go from there.
And
Wow.
I suppose we should mention you are located at 525 Warsaw Street here in Frankfurt.
We are.
Is that where the name came from?
It is. I know. We were so original with that.
I actually was getting ready. That's one of my normal questions is how did you get the name? And then I looked at the address and I'm like, okay, so then maybe not this time. How did you get the Flying Waffle though?
That was me. And I don't know. I mean, we were going through names. We were just going through names. Well, what about Willy Waffles? What about, I don't know, this, that, and the other. And then I'm like, okay, the Flying Waffle. I like that. I like the Flying Waffle. We're mobile. We're mobile. We're going to be the Flying Waffle.
And plus 2 chickens, right?
Okay. So Julie said, that we agreed on that one. And then the same with the 525 kitchen, keep it simple. So,
So you kind of have 2-ish businesses. You've got one that other entrepreneurs like yourself, that's your customers.
mm-hmm.
How do you reach them? How do they know the 525 kitchen exists and that they can come?
We've had people come and learn about us several different ways. One, they have seen or heard about us on either on social media, on Facebook, what have you. Sometimes, and we won't name names on this one, but sometimes somebody has started a food business and maybe they're not really following the rules.
Mm-hmm.
So then Wes may find out, and I shouldn't call Wes out by name, but maybe
some unnamed person might suggest that they need to get a little more professional.
In order to be legal, that they may want to call us and see what, if we can do that. Sometimes it is one of our food businesses, one of our tenants has a friend,
Sure,
and whatnot. So that's just how we've grown and gotten business.
So how difficult was it to set up a commercial kitchen?
As far as
was it a lot
putting the equipment in?
Equipment, the space, any inspections or certifications.
It was about 8 months of blood, sweat, and tears.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. That's a long time.
Well, because one, we bought a we'll call it a rustic building. We'll call it rustic.
A fixer-upper, I believe is the real estate term.
Yeah.
Potential.
As a matter of fact, so the missing Julie, she says, I found us a building.
Oh, boy.
But don't go look at it.
We got a building, but don't look at it. Okay.
She said, we can do this. I got this. We can do this. And I'm usually the no person. No, absolutely not. No. And she said, Nika, don't go look at this building. I mean it. And because I trust her with everything, I actually did not walk through the door of that building until the day that we signed it. We bought it. And then I went in.
Wow.
Yeah. So.
Yikes.
Oh, but look where we're at. It's good.
And then you said, Julie, what were you thinking?
Nah, I knew. I had a pretty good idea. But she's like, you're not allowed to go see it.
She's a visionary, isn't she?
She is. She is.
So the Flying Waffle and the Bluegrass Home Chef is more of a public-facing, consumer-oriented business. How do you get the word out for that?
So one of the ways when we first started, we used social media. That's all it is, that we use social media. So I started following other food trucks and looking to see what events are they doing. Like, where are they setting up? What events are they doing? And so I spent a couple of, the month before maybe, I started, when I realized when we knew timelines, like this truck's going to be ready and we're going to be able to take it out. I'm on the phone or I'm reaching out through social media and I'm like to people that own bars. And,
so she's a professional cyber stalker as well.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
I will follow. So that's what we did. We just followed other food trucks. There's a Facebook page, Kentucky Food Trucks.
Oh.
And you can post on there, hey, I'm a new food truck, and this is what we do, and this is where we are. And businesses will contact you through there.
Do you advertise on that Facebook page that you're a commercial kitchen for food trucks?
We have.
Mm-hmm.
We probably need to be better about posting on the social media, to be honest with you. Julie has her areas, and I have my areas, and that seems to be.
Gotcha. And let's point out again, because you've already said Julie is a nurse. You have a full-time job too that's not related to any of this.
Yeah, I'm also in healthcare.
So, you guys are a little bit busy.
We are, and the fun part about this is that the week so Julie went to get the food truck and bring it home. We had it built, and so she went to Texas and picked it up. She brought it home. The week that she was doing that, I was in Chattanooga because I had a brand new job.
Oh my gosh.
And it gets better because at the time both of us were in school. I was working on my master's degree. Julie's working on her PhD.
Oh,
and we start this
night.
business. But I mean, we always say there's 24 hours in the day. I mean,
Who needs to sleep?
There's 24 hours in the day.
Sleep is optional. Sleep is for the weak.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, now on your catering business, then do you do special diets or is it just like a straight menu?
We don't necessarily deal with special diets because we are both in healthcare, and I know that some people, when they it's not just it's going to hurt my stomach. Like sometimes people can die from the things that you make, and I'm not willing to be responsible for that.
Right.
Now we do have a tenant at the kitchen. Chloe cooks. I think is her business name. Chloe Cooks for You. Chloe does some dietary things, a lot of gluten-free, but we don't touch on that.
So you're just mainly your customers are going to be people who are too busy to come home and cook, make a home.
That was the
bluegrass.
That was the
bluegrass
idea
home
for a while. We're not necessarily doing that right now. We do catering under bluegrass right now. We'll do a wedding. We'll do corporate events. We will do box lunches for teachers at schools. I used to work in the public school system. So I've got some friends in the schools. And so last week I took them a box of school supplies and our business cards and stuff and said, okay, I've got ulterior motives here for giving you school supplies, but I know. But if you can get together a group of 10 or 15 people to place a box lunch order, I'll deliver them to you. We'll make them. We'll schedule it. We'll make them. We've done that quite a bit. But we love our little box lunch menu, and it's affordable, and we'll bring it to you.
That's awesome.
So somebody was thinking about starting a food truck or a restaurant or something food related, and they came to you for advice. What's the one piece of advice that you would want to share?
The one piece of advice that I'm going to tell everyone is there is a food code. Kentucky has a food code. And if you're going to be a food business, it is your responsibility to know where to find that. We can show it to you, or we can share the link with you. We can help you. But it is your responsibility to know where it is. It's 1,000 pages long, and I don't expect anybody to know it.
Except for Wes.
Julie. Kid you not. She can quote you chapter and verse. Wow. But you need to know to access it because
and that's really good advice for anybody opening any type of business is
you got to do your homework.
Most businesses there's some form of regulation or best practices. And even though you may want to reinvent the wheel, you got to find out, the shape of the road that you're running on.
We have always started there, whether it was the food truck back in Mulligan's when we put in a kitchen. We always start with the person who's going to give you the license or say no.
Right.
That's where you start. And that's advice number 2. Know where the food code is, know how to access it, and start with the person who's going to ultimately inspect you to say you can do your business.
That's good advice. And be nice to them.
Well, I mean, yes, of course. I mean, I think that's in any, you got to be professional.
Right.
But, yeah, that's you have to start there.
Well, you all have done a lot of different things, and I think that's wonderful that you're not afraid to try something completely different. So, what do you see as the next step in the Julie Cindy show?
Well, I'm glad you asked.
Oh,
So we have just purchased a mobile cart. It will be we will rent this out for, again, weddings and events. It'll be under the Bluegrass Home Chef, under the catering. But you could, if you were having your kid's birthday party and it's a fancy birthday party or whatever, you can set it up for cupcakes and cookies. Or you'll be able to do a charcuterie cart with it. Or we'll be able to set it up as a coffee bar, a wine slushy bar. The possibilities are endless. It's the cutest thing. And we'll be able to, when we set it up, and it's about,
she's going arm's length. I'd say probably 5-6 feet. Yeah.
Imagine a large table or a kitchen island, something like that. But it's movable.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be able to take it, set it up for you. And we can do it a couple of ways. We can either have somebody there manning this cart for you,
Okay.
or we could be able to, set it up and drop, and then come back and pick it up later.
Okay.
So pretty cute. And
Sounds like a fun idea for a party.
Hopefully, not a super expensive option for catering,
Right.
but cute, and we can, decorate it up. And
Oh, wow.
so that's next.
Okay. All right. That's exciting.
Coming soon. We've actually already advertised that a little bit on our Facebook.
So now, would you all prepare the charcuterie or cupcakes or whatever it would be on this then?
At the yes, and we would do this at the kitchen.
Okay. Okay.
So,
All right.
and then we would pack it up, and we would transport food and the cart itself, set it up, and again, either depending on how they wanted it, we could either have someone there to serve, or we can drop in.
That's a great idea.
So, either with the cart or with a flying waffle, what kind of radius from Frankfort do you guys prefer to work in?
Less than 2 hours.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Less than 2 hours.
So most of this, really, you can get to
Central,
a lot of
the
lot of people in the state.
Oh yeah. We've been to, I think, Somerset.
Mm-hmm.
We've been to Somerset. We've done that. We did the Master Musicians Festival one year down there. We've been to Bardstown. We did the Bardstown Bourbon Festival. We've been to Louisville.
Mm-hmm.
We've done Louisville Street Food Festival a couple of times. We've been to Mount Sterling. Mount Vernon. We've done Kentucky the Food Truck Championship a couple of times. Yeah, like we're willing to. We'll go if we need to.
Well, I like the idea that you all. What's unique about you all is that it's a breakfast kind of oriented food truck, whereas a lot of them aren't.
We can do breakfast. We love doing breakfast. That's probably one of our favorite things. We love doing the breakfast. I do not love getting up that early.
Yeah, that would be.
But it's good, and we've got a really good menu. It doesn't have to be waffles. It can be breakfast casserole. So that's where the Southern Eats comes in.
There you go.
We
So
can do
all.
waffles, but we don't have to.
So really, I think what you're saying is you need to have a good friend who you trust and who you can work well with. And
yeah, for Julie and I, we balance. We balance because I can come up with ideas. She puts them into play.
That's awesome. Mm-hmm.
She goes out in left field, and I reel her back in. Like, no, ma'am, we cannot do this. We always say I'm logistics. So when we figure out we're going to do something, I'm the one that figures out how it's actually going to work.
Okay.
That's my job. My job is for the kitchen. I usually, I handle all the rentals. So if somebody wants to see the kitchen or wants to know about it, I'm the one that meets them there and takes them on a tour and explains the things and sets the rates and that sort of thing. So we just, we balance each other, I think.
That's great.
We have little business meetings sometimes at my house, in my living room. That's our boardroom.
So really, as far as employees, it's just you and Julie.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And to be honest with you, we've actually fired ourselves a couple of times. We've definitely written ourselves up.
I mean, if you can't be
Yeah.
honest with yourself and your bestie.
Sometimes
then-
we don't get real good evaluations.
Oh,
All
that's
right.
funny.
Cindy Smith from 525 Kitchen and the Flying Waffle and the Bluegrass Home Chef and Bluegrass Home Chef Cart is coming soon to a corner near you. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
It's been fun.
We will, as I mentioned earlier, we'll have all of her contact information and social media with links in the show notes, so you can check that out there. That's going to do it for us for another episode of the Sidewalk CEO. I am Leo Haggerty from TCHQ Communications.
And I'm Sherry Donahue from Commonwealth Sentinel Cybersecurity.
Have a great week.
Bye.
You have been listening to the Sidewalk CEO podcast with Sherry Donahue of Commonwealth Sentinel Cybersecurity and Leo Haggerty of TCHQ Communications. You can learn more about the Sidewalk CEO on the web at thesidewalkceo.com and on social media. The Sidewalk CEO is recorded in the studios of TCHQ Communications in Frankfort, Kentucky. Check us out next week for the next episode of the Sidewalk CEO.